We've got VFL Derrick Furlow in the house, former Tennessee defensive back. Had a nice year in 2009. You had, I think, registered 4 tackles, 3 were solo. Is that accurate?
I had more than that. They got me.
They cheating you on that?
It's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, you've definitely moved on.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Yeah. You don't even remember those, right? No, not at all.
Definitely don't remember those.
Obviously exciting times when you played at Tennessee, but how's that compare to what you're seeing Tennessee football look like now with Josh Heupel at the helm?
It's exciting. I can appreciate the energy, the excitement, the winning, because that was the expectation when I came in that era.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a decade of suffering, so guys getting the recognition and the credit for the hard work, getting the notoriety on a national scale, Vol Nation getting a chance to be energetic about something outside of just the passion for the game and the love for Tennessee and getting W's. I enjoy it. So I'm enjoying every moment. Plus, it's exciting to watch, and I love when the defense ball because we were probably off the radar. I can't say we're off the radar anymore, but it's been awesome to see.
This episode is brought to you by Trey McAdams with State Farm Insurance out of the Clinton offices. And give their office a call, 865-457-7774. And obviously the way that you view football now from the sidelines took a couple of years probably for you to be cool, calm, and collected on the sideline. But when you were playing and shortly after your playing career ended, where in that time did you maybe feel that your perspective or view on the game started to shift from maybe being that athlete to maybe what post-playing would look like?
I think it happened indirectly while I was still playing, just based off just being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
My freshman year coming in, and then getting banged up my senior year. So the perspective was there. However, it didn't necessarily fully apply until you get a chance to reinvent yourself.
How did obstacles like the injury or other obstacles you had on the field, how did that help you view football as more than just a sport?
So a couple things. For one, it helped me personally with my faith because, I can control this particular thing, and all the things in the past worked out to get me to this point. So it's probably going to work out to get me to where I want to go for the end goal. But then when you take a look at it from the long-term play, it's like, okay, football was a vehicle that got me to a certain point. It could get me to this end goal.
Growing up in Southwest Atlanta, football was a vehicle of safety for you. It kept you out of trouble. How important was it for you to have the outlet of football, which really has let you here? But in that moment when you're a kid growing up in Southwest Atlanta, how important was football for you?
So it keeps you, because you got a couple options around you. You can do what guys that are doing and probably getting in trouble. Or if you got this goal in mind, whatever sport that may be, you got to have the grades to continue to play that sport.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to be good at that sport to get to the next level.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps you in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing and keeps you disciplined, whether you want to be disciplined or not. So it was really the thing that, hey, this could be the out for me. And if this is going to be the out for me, I can't get distracted by the things that are distracting most people, whether that's being in gangs, selling drugs, or drinking or smoking earlier, when now all of a sudden you're getting in trouble. So, and then just making the grade so you qualify to even get in school.
Mm-hmm.
So all those variables you get a chance to see early, and a lot of times you got somebody around you that was better than you at that particular sport but didn't qualify or didn't make it or got in trouble. So I was fortunate I saw that, and I'm big on learning from other people's mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather learn from your mistakes than have to figure them out my own.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what happened earlier. So by the time I got to the University of Tennessee, and then coming in injured, I had a chance to figure out, all right, who am I outside of just playing, because that identity as a player was took from me. Yeah. So now when you're back healthy, you always got that in the back of your head. If you're not a player, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what grew the faith journey. And then along the process of, that's a title. So what other titles can I give myself? Or what other skill sets do I have that can become that title once this football title has been removed? So it was fascinating, because I found myself, once the game was over, it was a lot of things I did while I was playing that I didn't know you can get paid to do.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, you get into this career path or the professional space, all those things that you was doing for fun and for free, I realized there was people getting paid to do those things.
Do you think growing up, whether, being in Atlanta, or having a single mom raise you, has allowed you to have this perspective? Or where do you get this perspective where you're able to kind of see things as the bigger picture? Because most young kids aren't thinking, oh, this is going to keep me out of trouble. This is going to be a vehicle that's going to help me be successful later. What allows you to have that perspective?
That's a good question. I honestly can't say I got the answer to that. I think it's probably a combination of everything. Single mom, born and raised in Southwest Atlanta, the moving around we did, the sacrifices she did, never making excuses, just doing what it took to get the job done, to provide food and provide for us, and not having to be, I guess, glamorous or not being concerned about what other people think, but doing the best you can to put your family in the best position possible. So seeing that, and then seeing other people that had more skills, more opportunity, blow it. Being the middle child, I just had a chance to analyze and just sit back. So it might be some personality traits.
Sure.
I'm not really sure, but when it's all said and done, now definitely when I think back, it's obvious. But when I was in it, I think I was just around the right people. Whether it was my teammates who did things right or my teammates who did things terribly, and I just happened to see it and see it for what it was, those mistakes they made, and then those wins that some of them had. And just when you piece it together, it's like, all right, it's a bigger picture to it.
At Wallace Real Estate, trust is more than just a word. It's been our foundation since 1936. Whether you seek backyard adventures or a quiet spot for your morning coffee, we understand what makes a house a home. Our agents are here to simplify your home journey and to lead you through the process, whether buying or selling. With Wallace Real Estate, you're getting more than guidance. You're gaining a local partner dedicated to bringing your dreams to life. Start your real estate journey at wallacetn.com.
Do you think that's maybe something your mom indirectly taught you, to have this desire to be more and to want more?
I don't know if she indirectly taught it. I know this relentless pursuit of continual improvement, got that from her. The desire to be more, have more, contribute more, I think that was from the lack that I saw.
Okay.
It was like seeing rats, roaches, going without, living on less. You can do that, but then I got exposed to there's a better way. I'm like, why would I do that? So at that point, it was kind of like it's an option. I'm just going to choose this other option. Like that option, that wasn't my control. I was younger.
Yeah.
And we survived, and I made it.
Yeah.
I got exposed to this. You know what? I think I like this route better. So it was personality choice. I mean, a reality check, a reality choice. But in general, I think it's really the exposure of both sides allows you to pick which side. If you never know what it's like to struggle or hardship or go through something, you don't appreciate it, or you don't think it's you don't think nothing of it.
Yeah, and obviously for a long time, you saw football as an ends to hopefully have a professional playing career, or at least get to a major college to play the sport. Do you think that lifestyle that you had gave you extra determination and hunger in the sport to kind of help you get to this lifestyle you're just talking about?
Absolutely. If it was easy, you don't appreciate it. When you got to grind and struggle and things don't go your way, like coming out and moving from Southwest Atlanta down to Griffin to Arkansas, where you finish high school, and all of a sudden the recruiting process starts, have a heck of a junior year, to getting injured your senior year, and all the big names stop talking to you, and then you having to bet on yourself because you already made up your mind that you're going to go play in the SEC, not knowing how it's going to work out, but just betting on yourself. It's the craziest thing you ever did, but it worked out. If it would have been easy and things would have been smooth, would I have blown the opportunity because of the ego? You're young, you're arrogant. I got this. I think I probably would have blew it because I had guys that came in. We was the #1 recruiting class in 2005. Life might not have been easier, but the journey of getting to this place was easy, and you don't maximize it. You don't take advantage of it. You're a little bit more lackadaisical. You don't necessarily care as much because you earned it, but you expect things a certain way. But when all of a sudden the things was going the way you thought it was going to go, and then they don't, and then you got to go prove yourself again, to the coaches, to your teammate, you got a more of a chip on your shoulder. You don't take things for granted, and you make sure you maximize opportunities. So I'm grateful for the journey because it helped develop me. I don't regret how things went because I put it all on the table and gave it everything I had.
You mentioned that you had that injury in high school. I believe it was an ACL surgery you ended up having. In that moment where you're not expecting that to be the result of the surgery for it to be ACL, you do have these collegiate offers. You think your life is going one way, and in a sense, you kind of have this railroaded moment. You talk a lot about faith. Did that play into, your recovery process, your rehabbing process, so that you still were able to make the most of it, get to Tennessee?
That was a moment because I went in for a scope on my meniscus. Woke up, ACL repair. I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, what you mean? I had a teammate. He tore his. He was in pain. He was hurt. He was down for the count. He knew it was tore. I had been 3 months and went to unofficial visits, camps, but it's tore. I'm like, nah, I don't believe that. But all in all, it's restructured now. So now I got to rehab. So in my head, it was really, the first question was why me? So I got checked by God on that one a couple times. And one particular time I'm doing rehab, I decided to do rehab 3 times a day. I figured I'd make it back before the season was over. We'll make the playoffs, I'll make it back.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's not how it really works. It was delusion.
Yes.
In that process of doing rehab 3 times a day, I busted the staples out of my knee.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I was doing my pain tolerance. I didn't know it was, they told me it was supposed to hurt. It didn't necessarily hurt, so I just kept doing rehab.
Yeah.
So busted the staples out of my knee, so that set me back a little bit longer. But in that particular process, one particular time I'm laying on the bed I had done 2 rehab sessions outside of the house. The third one was at the house. And I'm laying on my bunk bed. And I'm working on bending my knee. And I just remember saying, why me, why me, why me? I'm mad, frustrated, because everything was going right. And as I'm sitting there, mad, I heard this silent voice say, I gave you this stage, and you're using it for your own purpose, selfish reasons, ambitions, and goals, so I had to take it away from you to get your attention. Not knowing the magnitude of the statement or why, it gave me clarity that it was going to work out. I just can't be selfish with the stage or the opportunity. So I continued to just train and rehab, and we sucked it up on like 5-5, didn't make the playoffs, and then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to run track. And
all football players run track, I swear.
Right, I couldn't stand track. It felt like punishment, but I was okay at it. And sure enough, track season comes around, spring ball going on, get this letter in the mail. University of Tennessee invite me on come to check out the spring game, official. And it was one of the biggest blessings in disguise because I got here and met, I was with David Hobart that day. And it's crazy. He was a fullback. He already had ACL surgery. So I'm with him.
Okay.
And we just spent some time together outside of the stadium. He was like, bro, it's going to work out. It's supposed to work out. I remember this conversation. Like, it's funny. Me and him, that's my guy. And then shortly had a chance to meet Coach Slade, Coach Foreman, those guys. And they pretty much said, I just needed a chance. We had never had a conversation. Like, it was all first time.
Yeah.
And this in spring ball, so we finna get ready to graduate. Like, so school starts, like, it's all happening within a month.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, look, if you come in and you heal and you perform how you kept performing, we got a full ride scholarship waiting on you. We just can't promise you nothing until then. Let's go. That was all I needed, was some type of, all right, they believe. Not sure how they knew about me, but it was, come to find out I was on film against one of my teammates that was coming in.
Nice.
We had played against him in 707, so it was cool. My boy Ricardo Kemp, him, Brett Smith. So it was crazy, but it worked out. I got here, so the chip was on the shoulder because it didn't go that smooth. Mm-hmm. And I had something to come prove, and I had something to come get.
Yeah.
So the work ethic, the drive, all that stuff paid off. So that relentless pursuit of continual improvement that I saw from my mom, not making excuses, doing what it took. I got, yeah, cool, we back to the drum board. I know how to put the work in. Like, I just need y'all to fulfill what y'all said y'all gonna do.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
I want to go back to when you're on your bunk bed and you kind of get checked when you're saying, why me, why me? How much did that moment for you where you realized that maybe this vehicle of football was for selfish reasons, you had to reanalyze how you were going through life? how did that moment that you had with God, how did that lead you to Tennessee? How did that change the way that you kind of attacked life?
Man, that's a great question. It made me realize it was bigger than me. Like, I was going after it because I had this dream,
Mm-hmm.
but the purpose of the stage, which now is my purpose, as you say on everything I post, impact, inspire, and empower, that was the real purpose behind the football stage.
Yeah.
There's going to be people watching that you never know. There's going to be people supporting you. There's going to be your nieces, your nephews. There's going to be family members cut from the same cloth, coming from the same demographic, coming from the same situation. You're supposed to be using this stage to show them, hey, you can be more, do more, have more. You can persevere. You can push through. You're going to have teammates that's going through different stuff, and you got to be walking right so to realize that, hey, they might need a little bit of help from you. So it made me realize, look, this thing, it looks just like football on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
but really it's bigger than that. And that was allowed me to move different when I got to Tennessee, and allowed me to just appreciate the opportunity, but also be able to have those conversations with my teammates and be able to be there for them, because everybody got something they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about football. But if I wouldn't have went through that myself, I would have been oblivious to the fact, like, everybody's life is great.
Yeah.
Nobody got problems. But
No.
in reality, it helped me check myself. So it was a blessing. And then when we got there and we had FCA, it just helped me get my walk tight and realize if this thing don't work out, which it worked out how it was exactly supposed to work out, even though it didn't look like what I thought it was going to look like.
Sure.
It just confirmed Jesus' track record in my life. Is that thing. He always come through when it need to. The journey might not go how I think it's going to go. But at the end, I'm going to get to the destination. So it was the biggest blessing in disguise that I could not have planned, or even if I had to plan it, it worked out better than I could have planned it.
During your time at Tennessee, there was, you talked about getting that full ride scholarship. It wasn't as seamless as maybe the pitch made it sound. And there was another moment where you kind of heard a message from God. You kind of realized maybe you're attacking life the wrong way again, or not in his image, and you had another moment.
Yep.
Tell me about that moment where you heard that other message from God.
So it was, you get there and you kind of get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
You get all this Tennessee support, ball nation going crazy. You start winning, people put you on this pedestal, and you get distracted and you forget you were still here for a bigger purpose and a bigger reason. And a lot of times you don't get what you expect to get because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm here, thinking, okay, cool, I got here, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and you ready to go get your scholarship, and then you get denied, and you have to, all right, why am I not getting, okay, cool, I'm going to think about transferring. But as you do some self-reflection, you're like, all right, I ain't living how I'm supposed to be living, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, taking advantage and using the stage how I'm supposed to be using it. So God ain't giving me what I think I'm supposed to be getting.
Mm-hmm.
And after I had that self-assessment, we got this sign that says I'll give my all to Tennessee. Well, I realized I wasn't really giving my all to all the things. So I need to give my all to Tennessee, give my all to my teammates, give my all to my grades, give my all to my mom as a son, give my all to my brother as a sibling, give my all to the community as a volunteer. Like, once I stopped being so selfish, focused on me, and started adding value to the team, to the community, to all those things I was a part of, the moment I stopped focusing on myself, which that was a moment after Ink got hurt, as we had a hospital visit. And things worked out. But it took a chain of events. And unfortunately, and fortunately, the aha moment clicked as we visit Ink in the hospital room. And I remember coming in, we went to see him as a DB unit. I'm like one of the guys, I was like back of the line because I really didn't want to go in the hospital. Yeah. Definitely didn't want to see my dog laid up in the hospital bed. But as I come in, Coach Slay was like, Ink, how you doing? And he was like, I'm at peace. And I'm like, how's this guy at peace? He almost lost his life. His arm paralyzed. He's never going to play this game again. And he at peace. I'm like, whatever peace he got, I got to get that peace. And that's when it registered. Like, bro, you ain't doing what you was put here to do. You distracted. That's why you ain't got what you was supposed to be getting.
Yeah.
And at that moment, there was that second moment of clarity that Jesus made it clear, like, bro, you forgot.
Yeah.
You start getting selfish, and you ain't using the stage for why you're supposed to be using the stage. But after that moment right there, it was like, let's lock back in. go back to the drawing board, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
By the time the next camp came around, it worked out.
Ready to go.
It worked out, yeah.
How has that influenced the purpose that you feel you have now today?
Look, I stay in line with my assignment. Look, ain't no distractions. It's things gonna come, they gonna go. Impact, inspire, empower. Like, if it ain't doing that, I ain't doing it. And if I can help share the stories along the way and share with the guys along the way, athletes along the way, look, you got a bigger purpose than just that particular sport. And I think they get a chance to do that now with FCA and all the different things that are going on outside of the field. That's what it's about.
You're now kind of somebody you didn't have when you were younger. How fulfilling is that for you, that you're like, I've been in your shoes, I didn't have someone like me, and now you can be that someone?
I guess I never really thought about it being someone that I didn't have growing up, but I feel like that's kind of the purpose. And if we can give back and show and educate on the things that we missed out or didn't take advantage of, it only makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's what we should do, or when we put here to make the place better or leave the place better than what we found it, ideally that's what comes to mind. So that's just how I tend to operate. And the cool thing about it, I got a lot of my VFL brothers around me that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So we're moving in the same direction. So I get that same love and guidance from some of those guys, or giving it to some of those guys, and we get a chance to pay this thing forward to the generation of all that's playing now across the sport, like or across the board on every sport, and don't just silo it to just football, because the transition may look different, but we still got individual victories and losses that we've took, and if we can share the story and the journey and how to just maximize the stage and the brand, I think it puts them in a better position. You
have several businesses right now, from the agency to On Rise to X Factor. How fulfilling for you has that been, making this transition post-playing career to now still being someone in Knoxville that gives back, but now in this way?
That's what I was put here to do: impact, inspire, and empower. And it's going to look different. It's going to be in different vehicles. It's going to be with different partners. But if it's in alignment with my assignment and I'm staying true to the overall mission, we just going to do the work. And at some point, when I'm getting my obituary read, it'll say all the things that he did that was impactful, inspiring, and empowering along the way. But in the meantime, it's just like, the goal is the goal, or the standard is the standard. I'm just here to fulfill my purpose for my life, and I'm just faithful enough and lucky enough. It involves a lot of orange, because it taught me a lot of things, and I could be around here in Knoxville to do it.
Derrick, I appreciate the time. Thanks for coming over.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.